And Don Baylor can hit that one. I got the power.
I've got the power.
There you go. Thank you. I cannot hit those high notes. I can't hit any note on tune.
No, not today, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to start again. We're going to talk about GladiaCoin, which is a way to get Bitcoin. Everybody needs Bitcoin. How do I know that? Well, because I'm in the financial business and I've been doing it for a long time and I know what's going on. Everybody else should learn what's going on too. And I'm going to tell you right now, you need Bitcoin and you got to find a way to get it, and this is the way to get it. Now look, back in 2008 when it first came out, Satoshi Nakamoto wrote a paper. That paper was read by a whole bunch of people and they decided to implement it. And by 2009, the first transaction took place. One of the guys that started reading everything and studying everything Bitcoin was Andreas Antonopoulos. Write that name down, spell it fast and say it twice. Andreas Antonopoulos. Look up everything by Andreas Antonopoulos on Bitcoin, YouTube especially. Just Bitcoin Andreas. Bitcoin and Andreas will get you everything you need to know. Okay, so it has become a currency, a worldwide currency, and the whole world is rushing to Bitcoin. Now, when it first came out, I kind of pushed it away because I didn't want anything to do that wasn't backed by real money. Of course, little did I know, even in 2008, that that wasn't the case here anyway. I soon found out and decided that I needed to do something different. So I quit having people put money into USD and had them put it into gold. And so now I find out that Bitcoin is worth more than gold. I'll prove that to you in a few minutes. And that has sent shockwaves through the financial world. Seriously. Everybody thought that things were going to continue on as normal for a while, and the things changed. In 2009, there was a revolution that shook the entire world, and nobody heard it. Well, Bitcoin's coming out. World financing is completely changing, and the way everything is going to be run, it's going to be run by computers and blockchain technology. Learn everything you can to know about it because you're going to need it. Okay, so the value of a Bitcoin back then was 0.001, and I didn't take any of it. I didn't think it was worth having. You know, what do I want this for? Some stuff on a computer, and anything on a computer can, computer can fail, can be turned off, you can lose data. I said, who wants that stuff? Well, it turns out that we really all do. Now in 2016, it's at $900, and today it's well over $1,200, and it's just phenomenal. People are rushing to get Bitcoin. Now, how many Bitcoins do you want? You want to just whip out that old checkbook or that credit card and start buying Bitcoin so that you can have a few in your bank? I don't think so, because nobody has enough money to do that. I'm going to prove that to you in a little bit too. Now, these companies, however, were paying attention. And they actually started investigating and looking into Bitcoin because they see it as a real threat. And the financial companies are trying to find ways they can capitalize on it. But one of the things that's going to happen here is banks are going to disappear. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you walk in a Chase Bank, they used to have a whole line of tellers over there. Now they're all blocked off. No tellers back there. There's maybe 1, 2 windows open, maybe 3 windows open in one of the larger ones, and the rest are all machines. And that's where it's going to go. But it's going to get even better because it's actually going to end up being down on your phone. Now, in order to deal with Bitcoin, you've got to have a Bitcoin wallet. What's a wallet? It's a company and a software package that is free, and you can get them. Blockchain is one. It has about 11 million or 12 million users right now. Coinbase is another. You can actually buy a Bitcoin through Coinbase. Local Bitcoins actually isn't a wallet. It's a group of people that sell Bitcoins locally. You can call them up and you can check their price. And if you want to get some, you can run down and put some money in their account or give it to them in their hand, and they'll send you the Bitcoin over. Zappo and Copay and BitPay are also wallets. And BitPay even has a debit card that you can get, a Visa debit card, so that you can spend your Bitcoins just like you do right now. You go down and go to Starbucks and you swipe your little card there and it pays for everything. Go to Carl's Jr., get a hamburger, you do the same thing. You swipe your card and away you go. Now, another thing you can do too, this is the thing I was afraid of, with the computers, you could lose the data. You can literally buy a hardware wallet. It's like kind of a USB thumb drive, but it is totally secure. You can make purchases from it, and you can transfer all your Bitcoins to that wallet. And even if you lose it, there's a way to get it back. Pretty cool stuff. All right, there's 100,000 companies in the United States right now that take Bitcoin. for goods and services. Colleges are taking goods and payment for goods and services. You know, books, tuition, things like that. Dunkin' Donuts, Subway, Starbucks, GameStop, Whole Foods, Home Depot. More and more and more people are taking Bitcoin and would rather have Bitcoin than cash. And have you noticed the rush of people to get rid of cash? Banks don't want to deal with it anymore because it's too expensive. I mean, they actually charge me if I bring a bunch of cash in and want to make a deposit. That's just getting sick, right? Who needs a bank like that? I don't need a bank. Bitcoin trading. How do we make the money over here? Bitcoin trading. What is it? Buy low, sell high. That's the basic idea. It's a little more sophisticated than that because they're doing options and they're doing arbitrage. A couple fancy words. Options just means that they're buying contracts for future delivery. Now, what are they buying? The value of the Bitcoins or the Bitcoins themselves. And they're betting in some trades that it's going to go up, and in some trades they're betting that it's going to go down. And in some, they're buying it for $700 here in one part of the world and selling it in another part of the world for $1,000 or more, like they did in China. You know, when China was devaluing its currency, everybody who had money in Bitcoin didn't lose a dime, and they were able to continue doing what they're doing. India had, what was analogous to our $50, $120 bills disappeared. The government woke up and said, can't use those anymore. They're no good. You got to exchange those for new ones. And so everybody had, ones and fives and tens, and that was it. And they couldn't really buy very much. Really created a big problem over there. I think that problem is still going on, but everybody who had money in Bitcoin didn't lose a dime. You have people in Venezuela. There's no economy down there. They're using Bitcoin to create their own economy around whatever the government's doing. And they're buying goods and services and food from Amazon.com and having it delivered outside the border, then bringing it back into the country. Pretty neat stuff going on. So if you're paying attention at all, you understand that there's a real big change coming. Exactly how that's going to shake out and what it's going to be, it's anybody's guess at this point. But the platform that we're talking about here is these guys are specialists with the digital economy. What does that mean? It means they've been working with money and they've been working with this kind of stuff for a long time since it came out. Now, what's really made this popular is two things. One is the rise of currency exchanges. These exchanges are businesses that handle the transaction of the coins between buyers and sellers, and also do some of the mining, which produces some of the coins that are out there. It's those exchanges that really make the option trading profitable. Now, the other side of that is the volatility of a Bitcoin price. The price is constantly changing. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, and sometimes by very wide swings. And when you have the high volatility and the constant changing of the currency, and even from one point on the earth to the other point on the earth, different rates of trading, that's where you can actually get rich. So what we're really doing is that we are actually giving this company some of our Bitcoin. So how do you do that? Do you give them dollars? No, you don't. Do you give them pesos? No, you don't. You have to go buy some tokens called Bitcoins. You get those Bitcoins and you give them to them. Now, there are a lot of games out there that people play where they have these whole artificial societies, and people have spent millions of dollars buying their currency and their farms and their little chickens and all this kind of stuff. I don't remember what the names of those things were. I never played them. They never really interested me very much. But essentially, that's what we're doing here. But the point is that Bitcoin really is like a currency. It is a store of value. How do we know that? Because it's priced more than gold. It's fungible. You can be changed from one form to another. In other words, you can liquidate your Bitcoin and people will buy it from you. You can take those things and buy more Bitcoin and put them back into the program anytime. You can move it from point A to point B. You can move $1 US dollar from one point on the earth to 3/4 of the way around the earth in a split second. You can move $100 billion at the same speed and safety. You try to move that kind of money, even $20 from Australia to the United States, and it takes 3 days, 4 days to get it squared away. And the banks are screaming all the way. PayPal says, it's PayPal of Australia's problem. The United States says, no, it's not our problem. It's down there. Same thing with Latvia. We had the same problem over there. See, you don't have any of that with this. You can move the money and you own the coin, unlike currencies. You don't own currencies. Those are owned by governments. You own this. It's yours. It's not made by any government. It's not theirs. They can't take it from you. They have no rights to it. They cannot use it. So That's an opportunity for us to create our own economy. And every time we do that, we defund the system. What do I mean by that? Well, most of these currencies are what they call debt-based currencies. In other words, in order for the currencies even to come into existence, somebody has to take what they call a loan. That loan actually creates the money. It's not really the loan that creates the money. It's your signature on a piece of paper that has value, and that creates the money. Now, that comes into the banking system. But see, Bitcoin is not part of that. Bitcoin has real value. It is actually something that you can own and control, kind of like gold. It's got like all the features of gold and none of the bad parts of gold. What's the bad part of gold? Well, try to use it. Everybody thinks they're going to keep gold on hand and they're going to say it's going to save them. You know, they're going to be able to buy goods and services when the economy goes down and nobody else will. Not so. You start walking around out there. Listen, if everybody's scourging for food and other problems, it isn't going to be a nice place to walk around. And you're walking around with gold coins in your pocket and you're trying to go do business with gold coins and silver coins. Somebody might just think about taking them from you, unless you're prepared to defend them. You go walking around with your Bitcoins, you got no problem. Nobody even knows you have them. It's fantastic. And if you need to take a vacation in a hurry, or you think you're going to move all your gold coins and stuff out of the country at the same time you got to get out, not going to happen. You can with the card. Card's not money. Okay, so what are the benefits of this program? Duplication in 90 days is what they're telling you. If you give them some of the Bitcoins, they will double the Bitcoins that you have with them in 90 days or less. They're not telling you it's about the less, and that's the key thing here. There's an acceleration clause in that 90-day period. You can actually duplicate them every single day if you know what you're doing. Totally, fully automated. Thing runs like clockwork. Every day the system goes into calculation mode, maintenance mode, and then after that it posts the earnings to everybody gets, and the Bitcoin accounts are sent out and directly to your own account. Nobody else's account. They're not held by the company. The only money they hang on to is the money you gave them to participate in the trading. And then you get the response back and the Bitcoin back directly into your own personal account. So you're in control at all times. You can start and stop when you want. You don't have any tedious activities like most programs out there where you have to do all kinds of jump through hoops. You got to calculate all these crazy compensation formulas and things like that. None of that. And they pay every single day without fail. Now, there's an international presence here, and that gives us real power because most of the time when you're doing something like this, any kind of a program, they're based locally. They're not usually based internationally. This is total international. This is an international kind of a currency program. Everybody in the world is rushing after this. Now, if you think about transferring 1% of the assets of the United States into a Bitcoin, you're talking about coins that are worth over $1 million in value. I don't even know how much it would actually be. That's amazing. But they can be divided by 1 million parts. So every single coin can be divided by 1 million pieces. Now that makes it available to everybody being able to use it and get their hands on it. But are you going to be able to buy 1/1,000,000th of a $1 million coin? I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty tough for people to get that. This whole thing happens in real time. Every day, every minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The system never closes down. And you get to access it on a tablet or a mobile phone or a PC. And the mobile phone is the key part because there's 2.5 billion people on the planet that do not have any banking. They don't have any way to access goods and services and participate in any kind of commerce, to run a little business, let's say. Well, they can with this, and they can use Bitcoin to do it. Now, let's talk about the transfer of assets where people want to own something that's going to have lasting value that they actually own. And let's talk about all these people that are unbanked finally finding out that there's a way for them to get goods and services, make some sale, make some money, so they got food, water, and shelter that they can get like the rest of the world. Well, that's simply amazing. And what do you think the price of the Bitcoin is going to be at that point? They're only 21 million now. There'll never be any more than that. About 16 million have already been mined, and a bunch of those have been lost, and a bunch have been stolen. They recovered most of them, but it happened. And there's only about 5 million coins left to mine, and they'll never end up mining all of them. The last coin that would be mined would be in the year 2140. That's a bit of ways. So they built scarcity into the system. It's not designed to inflate. Now, many other kinds of crypto coins are out there. There's about 1,000 of them. They each have their own presence. Most of them will fail. They won't really go anywhere. There might be some local coins and stuff that have survived. But the point is that most of them are sponsored coins, and they're designed so that you can expand them. You can actually inflate them and use them for other purposes. not so Bitcoin. We don't know how much gold is in the earth. There's no way to know that. Somebody may find a new vein and all of a sudden gold is just plentiful. It's just like sand on a beach. Nobody really wants it. But that's not going to happen with Bitcoin, and that's one of the reasons why the scarcity was built into it, so it would hold real value and it could compete as real way to transfer money and get goods and services all around the world by everybody without having to ask permission. Get your fingerprinted, get your picture going, do an iris scan, do a retinal scan, you know, get your DNA. Crazy stuff's going on out there. So anyway, their commitment is they will double your Bitcoins in 90 days or less. So for example, if you had half a Bitcoin, and it could be turned into 1 Bitcoin in 30 days, okay? Now, there's 2 ways to generate the Bitcoin with this system. There is the passive method. Now, all that means is that the money that you give, the Bitcoin that you give the company, GladiaCoin, you get paid 2.2% interest daily on the account. In 90 days, it will double. But you can also kick in the acceleration clause in that because you don't need to wait 90 days. The promise is they will double your Bitcoin. So as soon as that Bitcoin is doubled, that contract's over. And then you've got 24 hours to do it again. They'll say, do you want to do it again? And if you do, these are the benefits. How do you get that going? How do you pick that up? Because if you're going to do the passive, look, it's going to double. You put in a 4 Bitcoin, and that 4 Bitcoin becomes 8 Bitcoin. Then you do it again, and that 8 Bitcoin becomes 16 Bitcoin. That 16 becomes 32 Bitcoin, becomes 64 Bitcoin. So you get a whole year, you get 64 Bitcoin. That's doubling every 90 days, 4 times a year. Well, why wouldn't you want to double every day if you could? Why only 4 times a year? Why not 365 times a year? And you can. Max doubling is 8. You can only put in 4 Bitcoin and you can get 8 out every single day. How do they do that? It's what's called the binary network. Unlike a bank, when you refer somebody to the company and they're going to be using that money that they are bringing into the company to trade, the company actually pays you a referral fee. You get a percentage. Percentages start at 5% and go all the way to 15%. My mistake, if there was one, was coming in and tiptoeing in the water here, taking too long. It took us 16 days to come in at a 0.05 contract and get that thing up to the level where we're working on 4 Bitcoin, doubling it to 8. We should have jumped right in and gotten there because that is really the key. Now, the way this binary program works is you refer 2 people, one on your left and one on your right, and once you have referred 2 personal referrals, then that opens up the ability to build the binary and receive compensation from it. Okay, now what we recommend is that you take this position here and you work on it and build this leg down here, build this leg down here on the outside, and get this thing cranking out 8 Bitcoin as fast as possible. It's the best possible deal for you. You put your 4 Bitcoin in that day, tomorrow you take out 8 Bitcoin. What's the risk? What's the harm? What's the probability you could lose some money on any given day? Once you put in your 4 Bitcoin and you've gotten it back, you've got double. Now you're working on house money. You got all your capital back. You got no risk of losing any of your capital. You're just going to be working on house money. So at that point, everything is just pure gain at that point. So what happens is once you have done that, you've built this leg on the side, on both sides, okay? And now you own this position here. Well, half that position is already built for you. You only have to start building on the inside of that position, on the inside of the binary there. You can get this position cranking 8 Bitcoin a day out quickly. Then over here, you've got 2 going. Now over here, you've got that outside leg already built. All you have to do is start building on the inside leg and pulling off points. Every time you bring on a point on the inside leg, you get to pull a point off the outside leg. And it's already built. You're never going to catch them. You can just work on it forever and it keeps going. The lines keep going to infinity. You can actually take more positions. There's no limitation on the number of positions that you take. The only limitation is that you only can get 8 Bitcoin per day out of them. Here's now, of people that started with Bitcoin and this plan, people doubled, when they doubled their Bitcoin, they all renewed. They all doubled. And the reason they renewed and they continued is because if you don't, you get separated from this binary chain that you built. As long as you're here, you're in the chain, right? But if you don't renew, they got to take you out of the chain. So the chain connects on up and you're not able to get back in there. So that's one of the reasons that everybody always renews. The other reason they renew is because it works. My gosh, once you start seeing the numbers on this thing and the way this thing works and what you can really perform by building a binary team, it's amazing. You never want to get rid of that thing. That's like the little engine that could. You get 50 Bitcoin pooled down there in that binary team, and you will crank 8 Bitcoin every single day. Why? Because every time you renew the contract, you get another 15% referral fee. And as the people down below you continue to renew their contracts, they generate more points. That's how that works. It's phenomenal. And it's very simple and easy to understand, especially when you see it operate. You're just amazed. Some guy today told me that he thought that the programming was elegant. I'd never heard anybody call programming elegant, but he said this thing was just incredible the way it was put together. Anyway, that was very encouraging to me and made me very happy. Let's look at the plans real fast because you got to choose a plan. Here is the lowest plan. You come in with 0.05. Now I'm talking about the 4 Bitcoin. If you can get in here with 4 Bitcoin, you want to get in with the highest possible package you can because you get a higher fee. That fee makes a difference down here on the referrals that you do. If you come in with this plan and you refer 50 Bitcoin, you're only going to get a 5% fee on it. And you're not going to double any of the money that you put in, right? If any doubling occurs, it'll occur because you referred some people into the program. Here's where a 1/10 of a Bitcoin is where it starts, where you get the doubling guarantee in 90 days. You get 6% of the binary. But let's just go on up here to the sweet spot on the lower plans. Half a Bitcoin. Start with a half a Bitcoin. It'll double in 90 days, even if you do nothing. But if you refer people and you bring in some people in the binary, you're going to get 9%. That's a big deal. Compared to 5%, that's a major deal. You can get 1 Bitcoin daily. You can get 30 Bitcoin a month out of that plan. Now, if you just can't do any of that stuff, that's what these smaller plans are in here for, to enable you to start small, build it up as soon as you can, and as you take those earnings, don't spend that. Just use that to step up until you get up to the 4 Bitcoin thing. All you guys that have the ability to come in at 1, 2, and 4 Bitcoin, you really should start at the 4 Bitcoin level. I'm seeing it in my own stuff. It just doesn't take forever to get the thing double in that point. Right now, I'm doubling weekly. Every week, we're coming up with another 8 Bitcoins. As we get more and build more team, we'll be getting faster and faster and faster. There are people right now pulling out anywhere between 240 to 720 Bitcoin every day using that plan 7. Why? Because you get 8 a day, 8 times 30 days in a month is 240 Bitcoin. And let's say that you've got those 3 positions, the top one and the 2 just directly below you, which is the easiest thing to do. That's 720 Bitcoin every single month. Well, do the math, kids. You know, when you're talking about a Bitcoin, it's over 1,200 bucks, you're getting 720 of those every month. Do you think it would change your lifestyle any? Do you think it would make possible things you never thought you could ever do? You think you'd actually own your house and you could actually have a nice place and you could take some vacations and you could actually live a pretty good life and also help a lot of other people at the same time, don't you think? What do you got to do that? Do you have to go college and get some advanced degree in engineering or physics or medicine or anything like that? Spend 15 years of your life just going to school all the time? No, not at all. Do you have to invent something and form a company that sells this new giant product all the way around the world? No. What do you have to do? You have to do something. Let me turn this around a little bit. What are you going to do if you don't do this? Because the economy is failing. The debt limits are not sustainable. You have robots coming, taking people's jobs. Wendy Hamburgers just announced they were getting another 1,000 robots to get rid of more people. I mean, it's happening everywhere. The banks are shutting down right now. It's all going to go digital. People in trucking and other places, everything is going to change. You've got to do something in order to be able to get yourself financially secure. Can you be secure owning USD or any of these other currencies? No, because they've ruled already in several high-profile cases, people have lost money in accounts that the company just closed and kept. People sued. I want my money. Court ruled, it's not your money. When you put the money in that account, you invested in the account. That's their money. They can do with it what they please. Frankly, that's the way it's always been. That's one of the reasons why they had to invent insurance to get people to put money in the banks after the Depression, because banks were so doggone dangerous, they had to try to convince people they were safe. But you see, that can't happen with Bitcoin. This is the way to get it. Now, the rush really hasn't hit. The people have not really begun to understand the magnitude of the change that's coming. Listen, my opinion, this is equivalent to the founding of electricity, railroads, something else I used to think about all the time. Can't think of it right now. There's 3 different things there in that category. That's major. Andreas Antonopoulos says he thinks that the Bitcoin system is bigger than the internet. And look at the change on the internet. You know, 10, 15 years ago, people, what's the internet? What's a browser? What is all that stuff? There's really big changes coming, and you've got to do something to prepare yourself. The other thing is that what if you've got a problem in an area? You've seen it. It's going on in the country right now. There's all kinds of problems happening, natural disasters occurring. What are you going to do when that happens if you don't do this? To my way of thinking, the explosion is going to come because people all of a sudden are going to start panicking. What do you think is going to happen to the price then when people want to get Bitcoin and the only way to get it is right here? That price is going to skyrocket. There's an exchange traded funds coming out on Wall Street because they're trying to do something to capitalize on the Bitcoin. If that happens, you're going to see an immediate jump from the $1,200 to probably around $3,500 to $4,000 a coin already. So by having the Bitcoin, when you get them and you hold them, you're actually building in future value that you're going to be able to use to take care of your family and yourself. So why wouldn't you do this? I mean, I can't think of any reason you wouldn't do this. There are still people that say, nah, it's not my thing. I don't want to do that. Don't talk to the hand. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear about it. Pass the beans. Okay, we're going to pass the beans. Here's the beans. It's very easy to do. Choose a plan suitable for you and start now. Get back to the person that referred you here. Tell them you want to look more into it. Tell them you want to get started. Tell them you want to just tippy-toe in. Other people are going to wake up and smell the coffee, and they're going to say, let me in now. Give me 4 positions with 4 Bitcoin. People are coming in like that right now. Biggest one I've heard so far is 7 positions at 4 Bitcoin. That's not stupid, people. That's smart. That really helps you get a real acceleration on getting Bitcoin, and you're going to need it, and you got to find a way to get it. And if this doesn't convince you, well, time will take care of that. So anyway, let's open it up for questions, comments, testimonials. People, if you're on the plan, if you've already got it, let people know what's going on, what's happening to you. Help them make a decision. They gotta find out somehow. Sooner the better.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I felt that directed at me. Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand. I don't want to see another program. that was me. Yep. Oh, am I glad you talked me into this. This has been just a real life changer. A real life changer. Okay, let's open it up for questions. Who's got a question? You can scroll down at the bottom and raise your hand or just unmute yourself. How about hearing from some other members too? What's your progress? What are you doing with this? How do you like it?
I just want you to touch your screen right now if you believe in the power of Bitcoin.
I'm a touching it.
I got fingerprints all over my screen.
I've been in this program since February the 18th, and I've not done much, but I gotta say I'm truly impressed. I'm actually expecting a deposit into my blockchain account tomorrow morning.
All right.
Wow.
And is this program easy? I mean, even a 5-year-old could do this.
Well,
when you were.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, the thing for me is right now, my time is. It's always been kind of crunch time, as far as availability to be able to do different programs. And
yeah.
Us as marketers, we're always online trying to, believe in the next opportunity and really give it, our 100%. But then when you spread yourself too thin and you got 10 things going on, it's hard to give focus to one thing at a time. I've literally, after not less than 30 days, decided, you know what, this is all I'm going to do right now until I see the income that I need to see. And this makes this program is so easy. Just investing. It's think of it from an investment standpoint. If you invest $125, I think earlier today I was telling someone, hey, right now to get in at level 2, Spartacus 2, it's $125.90. I think it was earlier today. It's probably gone up because Bitcoin is rising that fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But to take that 125, and if you do nothing but wait 90 days, you're going to have $250.
Absolutely.
That's without recruiting a single person. That's without sharing this with a single person. So if you can do that, and if you can share this with just 2 people to do the same thing, you're going to escalate that process from 90 to 60 to 30 to daily. And it's just that simple. Like, you don't have to do anything.
No, you really don't.
That's right. That's right. This is a win-win situation for every single person out there. It truly is. Really.
But I like that daily compounding of 8 Bitcoin.
Me too. I'm liking that a lot.
I don't want any of that quarterly stuff. I want that daily stuff. Hey, George Drew has his hand up.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Hey, so I live in New Hampshire, and I'm having trouble buying Bitcoins. Is there a way around doing this?
Well, you have to have Bitcoin, but you just have to go out of your area. You can get them through several different places. Uphold is a place you can buy it. Paxful is another one. BitQuick is another one.
BitPay.
BitPay.
I checked BitQuick, and it was saying that they don't allow it, or they can't do it for my area.
Well, you know what's going on. I've had even some exchanges leave, like Washington State, because those legislators think that they're going to control this, and they start putting all these rules and say, well, if you're going to do that here, you got to do such and such. And they close up shop and split. No need to hang around.
Right.
So
there's a lot of places out there. They even have BTM machines, so you can Google that. They're like ATM machines. Just Google it and see what's available in your area. If not, get back with the person that referred you, because we have a lot of places you can look into. Uphold, Coinbase.
So I can that ATM, Bitcoin ATMs.
yeah, just Google those.
Oh, okay.
Just see what's around, and then what happens is other people have been in here for a while, and some of them will also help you get Bitcoin. They'll sell you some. You have to put money in their account. You deposit it directly to their account, copy the receipt, send it to them with your receive address, and then a couple of days later, then they'll send you the Bitcoin.
I got you. Perfect.
Yeah, we always have solutions, never problems. There's always some solution. Okay, I see Luke. Go ahead, Luke. Luke, you're up.
He disappeared.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I'm here. No, George is the one I was talking about. He just commented. Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, he came into this today, he called me, and anyway, yeah, I need to find him some Bitcoin, and I got to find me some too. Okay. Honestly, yeah, I'm like, I've hit my limits, so anybody can reach out to me. That would be good. Yeah, so my first week, today I did $442, and for the week it was $667. And actually, I have 3 accounts, and I know one of them has paid me out. I didn't even count that other one. So, I mean, not bad for your first week. I mean, that's about what I'm. That's about what I make take home swinging a hammer. So, yeah, pretty much. It's just going to get better.
In 1 week.
Yeah, it'll get better, Luke. I promise it will, brother.
I know it will. I need to get 0.15 Bitcoin tonight or before the reset, so I can upgrade to Spartacus 4.
All right. Already in 1 week, just 1 week. That's my.
Well, try local Bitcoins.
Yeah, and go in the groups and ask if somebody's got some on hand too. They want to sell. All right. Let's go to Amanda.
Yeah.
Hello,
Amanda. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
We
Yes.
sure can.
My question is, you get the 8 point. Once you get up there, you can pull out the 8 coin daily. Is that different than the binary referral, or are those the same thing?
No. What's happening is that the pool of money that you've built down there in front of the binary, the 50 Bitcoins value. See,
Okay.
you're getting the 15% as those people come on and they buy their Bitcoin, right? And put it into the system. Well, that money goes into your 90-day account and it accelerates it.
Okay, gotcha. So it all ends up going into the 8 Bitcoin that you can pull out daily.
That's right.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure of.
And then that way you have very, very low risk. There's no systemic risk. In other words, could the system go down and the money be locked up for a while? You know, when you're taking the money in and out every day and doubling it every day, there's no risk to anything. I mean, it's just pumping. There's somebody that puts it in and leaves it sit there just for 90 days. There is a bigger risk. There could be systemic risk. There could be something that would interrupt the internet service, or whatever it could be. I'm just saying, the more you do this and the harder you do it, the safer and the faster you actually can accumulate some money that they can't take from you.
Okay, now when it comes to your 2 legs, and I consider that like your left leg and your right leg.
Yes.
When it comes to somebody like me, I've never referred anybody into something or anything else, but I'm extremely interested in that. What is a good way about going about that?
I ask people one question: what are you doing about Bitcoin? Not what do you know, not what do you think. Never ask anybody what they think. I already know what they think. I just want to know what they're doing about it, because this is not open to question anymore. They need Bitcoin. They don't know it yet. That's really a real opportunity for you to ask that way. The other thing that you can do, that if you're not really used to talking to people, is there's a book you can get. Where is it?
Well, I'm used to talking to people, but doing online stuff is different. I manage a couple satellite companies and recruit and train sales guys all day long. Well,
there's a little book that helps you with this specifically, because it's called Double Your Contacts. Michael J. Durkin, Durkin. It's a very small little book. It's maybe 140 pages or 130, big print. I wish I had this book when I started in the financial business 40 years ago. It's outstanding. Takes you from point A to point B, and I've been doing it a long time, and I'm telling you, I got some good pointers out of this thing. I'm surprised.
But let me tell you something. We have people in here who have never referred anybody, never, ever. And once you see this in action, and you're going to be preaching the gospel of GladiaCoin all over, everywhere. Just like when you eat at a good restaurant or something, you're going to tell the whole world, hey, you got to go check out that spam salad or whatever. I mean, it's we have I like William's story. William Portillo, he's our upline, and he enrolled a doctor, and she was never going to show this to anybody. It was just and then the next day she said, I have this person I need you to talk to. And then there was like 5 in the next day, and then there was like 20. And I mean, it spreads like wildfire. So trust me, you're going to find your motivation there real quick. Talk to everybody. So, okay, let's go to, we have Sergeant Ram on. Let's see. How are you doing tonight?
Well, doing good.
How good are you doing?
Excellent. I came in on February 17th as a Spartacus 5, and last week I updated to Spartacus 6 on Thursday, and I've made so far a total of about $3,200 in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Short of 3 weeks. And
ain't it great?
I expect either tomorrow or the day after I'll be upgrading to Spartacus 7, and then the games will begin.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have some fun, but it's going like crazy. I don't even know how big my downline is. Last time I checked was like 60 or 70 people, and it's just growing.
Wow, really?
Well,
wow.
It's going to get to the point where it's too much trouble to try to count it even.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'll
be impossible. But and that's another thing. The power leg just goes on for infinity, and we are seeing infinity.
Just keep adding them. Hey, and one thing that I was talking with one of my other guys today, it's a good idea once you get your two personally enrolled people. If you've got a good handle on signing people up, what you can do, like I have a website, a landing page, and I set my get started now button to whoever I just brought in. And then the people that sign up from that page will automatically be dropped into that new person's thing to get them qualified quicker on the binary.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen, that's something that's worth saying. You know, when you have in this program here, when you come into a position and you're referring people, any so-called what people call spillover, you're credited for the spillover just like you referred them yourself. There's no, you don't, it's not a percentage thing. It's not, oh, you only get paid on your directs and all that kind of stuff. Everybody that comes into the line, you're going to get paid on. Even if it's 1 million people long, when somebody does something on the millionth end, everybody in that line gets credited with those points too. Okay, it's very, very helpful.
Yeah, and once you've got your two people left and right, and you're qualified, it doesn't make any difference whether you're the sponsor or someone else down line. And that way, you know, you can get other people qualified and growing faster if you have a landing page that can reset their referral link.
Because they have to be personally referred. That's why you want to use their referral link so they get personally referred. Yeah.
Right.
So it's important that whoever has invited you here tonight, please get back with them and get their referral link.
Amanda just got her first referral. She's back.
But
she's got her hand up.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, my question is, when you move up in the levels, do you have to bring on more people to move up in those levels?
No, you just have to have, it's more money, right?
More money, okay.
Yeah, when you go to the plan, because you want to get, it goes from a half a Bitcoin, I mean, 10% of a Bitcoin to 4 Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
That's what moving up is. You're putting more money into the plan.
Okay.
And if you do that, you get a higher referral fee as well. And that just makes it.
But you still stay on the same chain every 90 days? You have to redo that chain?
Well, you redo it's called a contract. It's like a 90-day CD at a bank or a time deposit account or a guaranteed interest rate annuity at an insurance company. They only last for a certain period of time. They give themselves 90 days to pay you 2.2% interest to double. The acceleration part is that if you will go refer people and they want to put money into the company, you get compensated for that referral. And that money can go in to help accelerate shorten the time period on the 90 days. So these contracts where they're doing this every single day, they start them one day, they're over the following day. They're doing a whole renewal contract every day. And it's just a click of a button. You want to renew? Yeah, click renew. You're done.
Okay, thank you.
Did that answer the question?
Yes.
Very, very clean, very simple program. I have somebody asking, do I need to mess with my leg positioning? And it's like, no, once you have someone on your right and someone on your left, then you just set your position to lower and it keeps a pretty good balance for you. That's why it runs so smooth. It runs just like clockwork. And do you have anything to add to that, Don?
No, it's exactly correct.
Yeah,
this
is a clean, simple program. You just autopilot pretty much.
One leg or another will run faster and get more points accumulated on it. Points are just in Bitcoin. Everything's done in Bitcoin. Nothing here in fiat currencies. No USD symbols, no pound symbols, none of that stuff. It's all Bitcoin. So if you have 1 point down there, that's 1 Bitcoin. If you have 0.5, that's a half a Bitcoin. So they add up all those points. And every time somebody comes on the opposite leg, it's going to pull from the bigger number.
Mm-hmm.
They zero each other out, and then you get a percentage of that amount of coin that's coming out of the system because it's being paid to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Do we have anybody else with a question or a comment?
I have a question. I purchased 3 positions, and I'm interested in upgrading as money comes in. Should I focus on one position at a time to upgrade or just kind of split it amongst the 3?
No. What you want to do is get your 3 positions and focus on the top one. Get
Okay.
that one going first, because that's building both legs down the left and the right. Your two positions underneath you are sitting right at the top of each one of those legs. So you've already built half of your second and third position automatically. Now all you do is just start working on the second position and build the inside leg until it's got like 50 points on it, and you're cycling every day. Then you turn your attention to the other one and just refer over there. You know, there's so many people out there that need money so bad, and there are a lot of people that have money and they don't know what to do with it. I mean, they're sitting in a bank. They don't really realize that that money can disappear in an instant. The bank just decides to close and it's gone. This idea of insurance is not real.
A lot of people are hurting in their pensions, and they're losing their pensions. They're losing their disability.
Yeah, the investment numbers aren't keeping up, and the governments don't want to pay them, and companies are closing. Listen, these people are going to be in a real hurt for a while. This is a way to get really ahead of the economy and get yourself safe and help other people.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I see that my spillover is going to my right leg. Do I need to start building on the left?
Yes, I would strongly be. What's the ratio? I mean, how many people are numbers are on the right compared to the numbers on the left?
None on the left yet. I got like 19 people on the right.
Okay. Well, what I would do is it's based on the amount of Bitcoin. In other words, if you could have 4 people on one side and 20 on the other, and the number of people don't matter. It's the amount of points in Bitcoin that's there.
Okay, do I still need to do a right or left personally, or just build from the left because I already got the right going down?
You need to do 2 personal referrals, one on the right, one on the left.
Okay.
That qualifies you to begin receiving the referral payments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Put your leg on lower, your leg stuff.
So keep it on lower, but just build from the right. I mean, from the left, because I got the right going down.
Well, the right's already going way down, right? So it's always going to go to the left right now. But you don't want to get caught in the situation where all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and you didn't get paid what you thought you were going to get paid because all of a sudden a bunch of money came in on the other one, and that was the opposite leg. It was lower.
Okay. All right.
That happens.
Thank you.
I got to interrupt you for a minute. I just got a cool thing in the chat room. Hector, can you hear me? Can you speak, or do you not have a mic, Hector?
He shows a mic.
I'm gonna pick on him for a second because I've been seeing him in our webinars, and he said he's 9 days in and he's already hit Spartacus 4 now.
All right, congratulations!
Congratulations! Yeah, isn't it fun? I mean, this thing grows like lightning. It's just that fast,
It's
so
bubbling Bitcoin.
Congratulations to you. I'm really happy for you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, I have to pause for excitement when I see it. Any other questions here? Oh, we got Amanda back. Okay. Go ahead, Amanda. I don't know where she went. Okay, well, you guys are just on fire. I guess we've been here quite a while. Do you have anything else to add, John?
Nope, not at all. Well, I can show them a couple things. Let me do that real fast before we get out of here, because I said I was going to do that.
Okay. I put all that information that he was talking about in the chat room, and hopefully everybody knows who invited him here. If you don't get back to us, you can reach us on Skype, and we will find that person who invited you here and help you get going.
Okay, here's the Crypto Coins news. I want you to see that right there. You want to subscribe to that. You can get it on your phone, and it's kind of cool because they send you stuff throughout the day. And they're short, pithy articles on what's going on. You don't need to subscribe to everything out there. There's a lot of stuff. I wanted to prove to you that here's the gold price right here. 1217 is the bid price on gold right now. Okay? Well, if we go over here to changing Bitcoin to $1, it's 1244. Okay, this has been staying above here for pretty much the last week, and this is going to continue. Now, gold may come back up for a while, but Bitcoin is going to far outstrip it. And that's a major thing. Another thing you need to see is cryptocurrencies will cripple governments, and they won't see it. It talks about the way that the changes within the government models don't need as many people, and it's going to make things a lot easier. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why things are going to happen. When you read this kind of stuff, you got to think about this in terms of your job, people, and what you're doing now, and whether or not you're going to be able to continue doing that job. This is a way to get ahead of the curve. At the same time, if you're doing these programs like this, you're going to be able to really put yourself in a position where you're not going to be blindsided down the road with a problem and all of a sudden you're losing your job. Here's an article too. This one we should probably put in the chat. Copy the title and URL. Unlike gold, Bitcoin is a once-in-a-generation investment opportunity. This is by CNBC. This is not alternative media talk, and this is the mainstream media finally coming to terms with what's going on and what's happening out there. So don't be shy about taking a real interest in getting involved in what's going on here. They're catching up. It's taking time. Here's the other thing that's really important, zero hedge. Zero hedge here points out the fact that the real reality of what's going on in the country is half of Americans can't even afford to write a $500 check. So that means that they have to use credit. That increases the credit bubble, and that increases cash flow requirements, and it creates real strain on families and people and standard of living. It gets really bad.
Yes, it does. When
I grew up in the 50s, it wasn't like that. You know, people had nice big cars, gas guzzling cars. They didn't care 15 cents a gallon for gas, you know, and they came out every year and everybody enjoyed it. They had their football games, they played golf, and, you know, mom was home, your kids come home to school, and mom was home, you know, cooking and taking care of the kids, and dad was off working and doing stuff like that. It was a pretty good little life. That's not reality here anymore. And it's changed in the last 50 years, and it's a terrible thing that can be coming. So you got to prepare yourself. Life is going to change here. It's easier to go through changes if you have money in your pocket. It's very hard to go through changes if you don't have any money in your pocket and have to depend on somebody else. So that's why I think that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity at all. And we've been given a real break here. You got to take advantage of it. Some people are going to refuse, but you just got to let them. That's all. Nothing else to add. Thanks for coming. Yep. We'll see you here tomorrow at noon.
Thank you, guys. Again. Yeah, we do this Monday through Friday, a couple times a day. We do the noon presentation, and that's Pacific Standard Time. And then the Spanish webinar to follow that. And then again at 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time, and the Spanish presentation to follow that. So.
Well, wait a minute. You know, all our Spanish guys are on road trips. They are having fun. They're out. They're doing sure meetings. Are. Las Vegas, San Francisco, Orange County. They are on a road trip, and they are having too much fun to stop and do webinars. So we don't know when the Spanish isn't going to go. I don't know when they're coming back. They may not come back for a while. They're having so much fun.
I was calling them the three amigos this morning. Yep. They're out there having a good time, and they are just exploding. One of them has been in since December. And he's already made over $300,000. He's just he's walking on air, walking on clouds.
Hey, Samuel, away, you know? Is Samuel here? Is he here?
I want to say something. I'm going to say, hey, look, I know the room been full the last two meetings. Do you think you got to pick up and get some more room here? Because otherwise people can't get in.
Well, that's right. That's right. And this we're having good growing pains here, so we're going to have to update the room for sure.
Well,
don't want nobody left out.
I don't want people late either. You know, if there's a limited seating, they tend to show up and get in so we can get going, right? We don't want to be waiting all day for people to show up. Hey, Samuel, you were at that meeting those guys did in Las Vegas. Tell people what you thought of it.
Oh, I've never seen anything like it. And they not only did they the presentation, they have proof to show you exactly what's going on in the count of money. And not only that, he bought everybody with 34 people more in that he bought everybody right off.
Can't hear you, Sam.
I said, not only was the presentation great, after it was over, he bought everybody food.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. That's great.
So he walked you through his back office, did he, huh? That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
That's right.
That'll make your jaw drop to the floor. I mean, yeah. He's
Well, I
got
didn't know he
a
was going to
very
buy everybody
impressive back
food.
office.
You'd be surprised how many people out there not too long, but I know it. There was like 6 or 7 folks right there signing up right after me.
Oh.
You saw hands going up everywhere, but I was in, so it wasn't even sticking around. Everybody might have signed up. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? This is just too good of a thing to pass up. Like John said, it really is a once in a lifetime opportunity, really, you know? So,
Take it.
all right. Well,
Run with
thank
it.
you for sharing that. And thank you, everybody, for sharing your stories and questions and comments. And
We've been at
go
it an
out
hour.
and go back and out there and grab some of your friends and come back and see us at noon tomorrow, Pacific time.
Okay, bye, everybody. Thanks for
All
Thanks,
right.
Doc.
Thank
Thank y'all.
you, guys. And God bless you all. Take care.
You too.
Good night.